Well, hi, good morning. It's Tuesday morning. I'm Pastor Sharon Taylor. Thanks for joining me for Blessings on the Beach. I serve as pastor at St. Peter Lutheran Church, and that's located in Fort Myers Beach, Florida. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we begin our day with a short devotion to keep ourselves centered in God and also to begin our day in an intentional way. So we've been using a word that could be our focus word for the day or our intention for the day. And today's word is mystery. And we are actually talking about the mystery that we sense in nature. And I'm going to be reading from Einstein and the Rabbi, and that's written by Rabbi Naomi Levy. So, restoring the soul in nature. She writes, one of my favorite Hasidic stories is about a little boy who keeps going into the forest every day. The boy's father notices that his son keeps escaping into the woods and asks him, "Why do you keep going into the woods each day?" The son replies, "I go there to find God." The father tries to gently correct his son by saying, "My child, don't you know God is the same everywhere?" The boy replies, "Yes, Papa, but I'm not the same everywhere." Rabbi Levy continues, we're not the same everywhere. In nature, we begin to see that we are part of creation, part of something vast and holy and eternal. Not long ago, my husband and I decided on a whim to go camping in Sequoia National Park. As we got high up in the Sierras, the oak trees and the eucalyptus gave way to pines and redwoods. Soon we hit into a storm. There was lightning and thunder, and it was dark and hailing, and we got lost along muddy roads. It didn't take long before I started to regret our decision to go camping. The truth is, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm told a tree grows there somewhere, but to be honest, nature and I don't really have such a warm relationship. Eventually, we parked at an altitude of 8,700 feet and waited for the storm to pass. Then we got out and had to hike for a mile up another 300 feet in elevation to get to our campsite. As I was hiking up with my backpack, my asthma kicked in and I started panting so hard that I sounded like Darth Vader. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. I started telling myself, I'm going to hate this. We reached our campsite just as the sun was setting into the pinks and purples and reds. I stood at the overlook taking in the expanse of sky and those majestic trees. Later it grew dark and I stood in awe before the sky, all lit up with the moon and stars. My Brooklyn mind was beginning to melt. The next day, Rob and I hiked for 8 miles to a lake and we both just jumped in. And then I came face to face with a massive sequoia. The tree was 2,000 years old. I sensed its mighty soul and began weeping before it. I held onto it, whispering a prayer of gratitude, and for a moment I disappeared. That whirring thinking machine. All that remained was a being flowing effortlessly, hands outstretched. No thought, no weight, no ground, no body, no mind, no me. A quote of Einstein's washed over me. Quote, the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. End quote. Something happens to you, to your body, to your vision, to your pulse, to your breathing when you are out in nature. Your soul feels alive and fed. It sees God shepherding us. The words of the 23rd Psalm become personal. You lay me down in green pastures. You lead me beside still waters. You restore my soul. Our homes protect us from the heat and cold, but they also protect us from awe and wonder. We live in a breathtaking world, but so often we miss it. Our souls need us to make time to break out of our enclosed spaces and enter God's house illuminated by moon and stars. Our souls are pleading with us to get away from our stuff, our possessions and our smartphones, and see God among the grasses and the trees. Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, A great Hasidic master who lived in the late 1700s advised his followers to talk to God daily outdoors. He believed nature was the place where the soul could be revived. He said when a person returns from such meditation, he can often see the world in an entirely new light. It will appear that the world is entirely new, and that is not the same world that he knew before. I offer you this moving prayer Rabbi Nachman composed. Let us pray. Master of the universe, grant me the ability to be alone. May it be my custom to go outdoors each day, among the trees and grass, among all growing things. And there may I be alone and enter into prayer, to talk with the Holy One that I belong to. May I express there everything in my heart, and may all the foliage of the field, all grasses and trees and plants, may they all awake at my coming, to send the powers of their life into the words of my prayer, so that my prayer and speech are made whole through the life and spirit of all growing things, which are made as one by their transcendent source. Amen. I hope that you will have the opportunity to get outside today, wherever you are, whether it's cold, brisk winter air or it's warm Florida air, to get out in nature and to be able to feel the strength of other growing things and feel the connection of oneness that we actually have to all of creation, and to think about just breathing into that space and allowing God's presence to be felt through nature, through plants, through trees. I like that she said that, she hugged, they always make fun of hugging tree huggers, but, just that sense of, she could sense the tree's soul. I mean, a 2,000-year-old tree makes us look like we've been in the world for like a minute. So the beauty of that and the wonder and the awesomeness. I mean, we in our culture have lost a sense of awe. And so being able to get outside and feel the mystery of God and partake in that. So I hope that you have that intention or opportunity today. And I ask that you would join me on Thursday as we come back again for a new word. And I hope that you have a blessed day. Thanks so much for being with me.